Last I checked, hurricanes weren't racist and they don't discriminate on who they target. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for the support. On my channel, I like to give my opinion and perspective on things that are happening today, things that I think actually matter to everyday people, especially those of us that are trying to raise kids in the insanity known as today's society. If you know exactly what I'm talking about and you're looking for another common sense perspective from just a fellow American just trying to navigate through these crazy times, please like this video, share it, leave a comment below. Also, subscribe to my channel. All of these things help me to grow my channel and hopefully reach more people that value logic, reason, and sanity. Also, be sure you're following me on Rumble under Outspoken Samantha in the event that we kind of get kicked off this platform and have to connect somewhere else. That being said, let's get into today's topic. So I'm sure all of you, maybe not all, if you haven't seen the video of Kamala Harris trying to respond to to Hurricane Ian and the damage that's happened in Florida, the devastating effects, people that are really trying to get through this horrific event that's really just left a lot of chaos in its wake. And she got up there trying to give an inspiring speech, one of her just riveting, momentous, just moving speeches that really just get you in the heart. She decided that the best approach to this issue, which I'm sure none of us would be surprised, would be to say this.
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities and do that work.
So just to regurgitate a little bit of what she said here, she said, it is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. We have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but that we also need to fight for equity, the vice president said. You know, first of all, the first thing that I find absolutely astounding about this, and what really continues to be demonstrated by the far left, is that they really think that this is something that American citizens in general, that across the board, this is something they want to hear. That this is a talking point that is going to bring cheering and praise, and it's going to raise their approval rating, and that this is something, as everyday Americans, that that this is how we think as we go through our everyday lives, that we want government to pick winners and losers, that we want society to be separated in these ways, that you get help based on your skin color and you don't get help based on your skin color. That they really think that this is something that's going to resonate with everyday people. And it just shows completely how utterly disconnected they are, because I don't know anybody that thinks that way. We see devastation that is happening in this area, and it is absolutely heartbreaking. And no one is looking at their TV screens or their Twitter accounts, or YouTube or however they're seeing the clips of this devastation and saying, I hope that person gets more help than somebody else. I hope that person gets more help than somebody else. Nobody's thinking that. We're looking at the footage of this and saying, this is heartbreaking. People have lost everything. People have lost their homes and their treasures and, things that they're never going to be able to get back or recover, family photos and, things that mean a lot. And these people are heartbroken and devastated, and nobody is thinking that we want to see only certain people receive the help that they need. We want everybody to get the help they need. We want everybody to feel support from across the country and know that we are praying for you, we are thinking of you, and donating to rescue and relief funds wherever we can and doing what we can. And I personally would not want my donations earmarked for specific groups of people based on their skin color. I want everybody to come through this. So it's just amazing to me that she would say this and truly, truly in her heart of hearts think that this is going to be a popular perspective with the American people. And it's just a theme that we see across the left, is that they're really about their talking points. It's like, let's deliver a line that's going to get cheers and applause. And the rest of us, like here in reality, you know, that actually have to, face the repercussions of a lot of the things that they do, are going, yeah, we're not about talking points. We really just, we really want people to be okay. I just thought the whole thing was absolutely ridiculous. But another thing that came to mind when she said it is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. First of all, can you prove that? Can you show me how it's the communities of color that are more impacted by a hurricane than everybody else, that face more devastation? Were their houses leveled more than the other people? Were their houses more destroyed or distributed further apart, with more debris? Explain. We're not asking these people enough questions and saying, explain what you mean, explain how they're impacted more, explain how this hurricane devastated people of color more. Defend your position, because right now you sound like an absolute freaking moron. But also impacted by issues that are not of their own making. Y'all remember in 2020, months of rioting? Yeah, guess who was impacted by catastrophic events that were not of their own making? Yeah, primarily communities of color, minority communities. And this was not a natural disaster. This was not something that just happens that you can't control. These people had the ability to control whether or not cities were being devastated by riots and burned down and crippled and looted, and whether or not businesses were being destroyed. And the people that were affected the most were exactly the communities that they said they were defending. And Kamala Harris is one to talk, because she bailed out the people that were out there destroying these communities. So, and since then, I am not aware of any aid that has been offered to these communities. And not only that, a bunch of money was donated to the ringleaders of this whole movement, this whole, chaotic situation. And none of that money went to help these communities. So excuse me if I'm questioning your sincerity a little bit and thinking that you're really just full of crap, because essentially you are. But I also wanted to show you just this really quick video that I came across that I actually thought was pretty amusing. And I think it demonstrates exactly what I'm saying, that her talking points, these leftist talking points that are so disconnected from reality, really are just talking points, and they really do not resonate with people. Because I came across this video of this man in one of these areas that was destroyed by the hurricane. And he's a Democrat, and he's waiting for his power to come back on, and he's talking about how the power has come back in that area. And he's like, I'm a Democrat, but I am voting for Ron DeSantis. So let me show you that really quick, because I think you're going to enjoy it.
That shit about DeSantis, but that gas is here in Arcadia. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it's here in Arcadia. So y'all know who we vote for. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers. I'm voting for DeSantis. And I'm a Democrat. So y'all can call it what the fuck y'all want to call it.
We got children out here.
Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
So, two things. I think that just shows, that these talking points are not what people want to hear. People don't want to hear talking points. People actually want their politicians and their elected officials to do their job, and they respect people for doing their job. So you can get up there and say that you are fighting for equality and equity and all of this other garbage that you like to spew because you think it's what people want to hear, but people want action. They want to see that you're actually taking care of them. And that's what Ron DeSantis is doing. And Ron DeSantis did not get out there and say, we're only going to restore power to communities of white people. He got out there and said, Floridians are suffering. My state is suffering. Let's get these people taken care of. And he pulled in resources from everywhere. And he had people volunteering their resources and their help from everywhere to get Florida back on its feet. And this man, even though he admits he's a Democrat, he's like, you know who I'm voting for? Ron DeSantis. And it's not because of, that Ron DeSantis is out there, you know, pandering to black people. It's because Ron DeSantis is out there doing his job and not just talking and spewing out things that he thinks people want to hear. He's out there doing the things that people want him to do. And I don't think that's something that the left is ever going to understand. I don't think it's ever something they're going to absorb. They hope that they can just, you know, keep talking point their way into elected positions, but you know, they think that we're they hope and pray that we are extremely stupid and that we don't see things with our own eyes, that we can just listen to their talking points and just assume that whatever they're saying is what they're actually doing, and that they're really out to save the day when really they're just out there talking. It's insane. Like, so yeah, I just really enjoyed that video, and I just thought it was really ironic that I saw it just after hearing from Kamala Harris and someone out there saying like, hey, this is how I'm registered to vote, but I am voting for the person who's out here getting crap done and actually taking care of our community and taking care of, you know, the state that this person oversees, that the governor oversees, and actually looking out for their constituents. Another thing that I thought was just really funny at the end where, you know, he swears at the end and you can hear this lady saying, hey, there are children around here. And it's like, hey, so we do still have limits on, you know, what kids shouldn't be exposed to. And we do still believe in censoring, you know, whether it be language or content for young ears. So that just gave me hope as well. And I truly appreciate that woman for throwing that out there. And I don't have any ill will toward the man who, you know, said what he said. I thought it was really funny, but it wasn't lost on me, that irony of this woman saying, hey, you know, we've got children around here, watch how you talk. It's like, oh, okay, we are still trying to defend children and keep them innocent and watch out for them. So I appreciate you, whoever you were that, you know, tried to keep this guy in his place. So, but we're praying for Florida. We're hoping you guys all get back on your feet. And as a country, you know, we just want to see Florida succeed and overcome this devastation. So let me know what your thoughts are. I wanted to jump on and just really, you know, just kind of pick this apart a little bit, because I think we're all now, especially now that you've seen the video from Kamala Harris, if you hadn't seen it before, I'm sure that you are just as dumbfounded, but not surprised. I mean, this is pretty typical of, you know, something for her to say, something from the left to say. So it's not surprising. It's just astonishing a lot of times. Let me know your thoughts. Again, please subscribe to my channel, share this video, help me to grow this. I really appreciate you guys' support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.